PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to PACTV Community News. I'm Walter Cicchetti.
And I'm Julie Thompson.
Tonight, we learn more about Google Expeditions at Pembroke Community Middle School.
We talk with Duxbury FACTs about their Beyond the Smoke Marijuana Forum, and we stop by the new volunteer office for Old Colony Elder Services.
We meet Denise Garvin, the new director of the Duxbury Free Library, and Town Talk is in the field with Melissa Arrighi, Town Manager of Plymouth.
We also have Donna Rodriguez on to talk about the upcoming Rotary Auction. But we start our show in downtown Plymouth with a new business that's been around. After running his roast beef stand seasonally on the waterfront in Plymouth for 2 years, owner and operator Richard Mancini decided to give the general public a year-round chance to try his delicious sandwiches. The home of the Bing, the Bang, and the Boom has opened its doors at a choice location on Main Street in Plymouth, and we dropped by to check out this classic-style deli.
In 2015, I was driving by this location, sitting at that set of lights right here in front of my shop, and I looked to my left and I said, wow, that spot would be incredible for a business. And so I had inquired, I asked about it. The owner at the time said that they weren't going anywhere. And I said, wow, I told her that it would be a nice fit for a restaurant someday. And ironically here, I ended up getting this. I opened a week before Christmas this past year, 2017, December 21st to be exact. I find it very exciting to have this location because I am literally on the corner of the oldest street in America, Main Street and Leiden Street. Well, I knew the foot traffic was going to be good. Previous to this, I've been on the Plymouth waterfront in front of the Bradford Hotel for the past 2 seasons, seasonal operation. And of course the foot traffic down there being right next to the Mayflower and the Plymouth Rock is incredible, meeting tourists from all around the world. It's more a father operation. My son's in school, graduating this year. I named it after him. I came up with the idea in 2014 when I had a pizzeria that I had opened in Middleborough that was short-lived, well-experienced. It gave me the idea to break through somewhere down the line where I knew that it would be heavily populated for foot traffic. My location before that was in a very tough spot for me to take off. And so I named it after my son because I let him sample my idea. And when I saw the look on his face, I took one look at him and I said, I know what the name's gotta be. My employees are kind and we do everything by code and we try to make it as comfortable as possible for the customer to know that when they're coming in to our location, they're gonna have something very good and they have nothing to worry about.
Google has an educational program called G Suite, and the town of Pembroke signed on to this program in September. This gives the school system access to any of the new teaching tools that Google produces, including some virtual reality programs like Google Expeditions. We stopped by the Pembroke Community Middle School as the students tested the new augmented reality program.
Closer into it, you can go right inside.
We became invested with Google. Google offers all these great free programs. One of them is Google Expeditions. So Google Expeditions is that 360-degree virtual reality experience that you put the headset on and you feel like you've gone to somewhere, a virtual field trip, if you will. Now they have a new product called Google Expeditions AR, which is augmented reality, where they bring the items into the classroom. So students have selfie sticks and a phone, and they hold it over a desk that has a QR code on it, and it makes it look like an item is now there in the classroom, something they can manipulate. These were all science classes, 7th and 8th grade science classes from Pembroke Community Middle School. Things that they had a solar system demonstration, one on the ocean floor, one on forces of nature, which was like hurricanes and tornadoes, volcanoes. There were some simple mechanical engineering kind of things that were happening. But the basics of it were, it's like 6 or 7 slides with images over it, and the teacher has a script that they can follow with questions they can ask the classes to interact with it. So it's a very interactive product that they've created. The kids have been really invested in it. Anytime you can put technology in front of students that's going to add to what they're already getting in the content, anything that's interactive like this is great, especially in the 7th and 8th grade. Kids are really active already. To be able to put something in front of them that's very interactive and is very physical and they can be a part of it is terrific from pedagogy standpoint. From a product standpoint, what Google's created is pretty impressive. For example, I know one of the things that you were able to see was the tornado and the hurricane. To have a tornado spinning on a desk and the students to be able to look inside the tornado or inside the eye of a hurricane and be able to manipulate that. It's that kind of interactivity that makes this product so fun. For us, what the technology that we have in the district, something like this eventually will become a free product. It's in beta testing right now for Google. They're testing it in schools. We were one of the first schools to be able to test it for them, which was awesome. They will then release it to the public probably in the fall, and we'll be able to use it as a free item on iPads that we already own, and teachers will be able to integrate that into their current curriculum.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You don't even have to leave the classroom to go on a field trip anymore.
I know. And this augmented reality versus virtual reality is really cool because it allows the kids to have a certain amount of creativity too, whereas in virtual reality it's all just given to you. This seems to be something that's more interactive. And like Mr. Hall said, with Pembroke being able to beta test this and have it free, that's just a win-win for everybody. So that's a terrific augmented reality for Pembroke schools. Good for them. With recreational marijuana being legalized in the state as of July this year, the Duxbury Families, Adolescents, and Communities Together Against Substances groups, or Duxbury FACTs, hosted a forum at the Duxbury Free Library to discuss the pending impact on the town ahead of its annual town meeting.
Duxbury FACTs is sponsoring a panel to talk about recreational marijuana. Next month, Duxbury voters are going to go to town meeting, and there's going to be a few articles on whether we should allow recreational marijuana shops to open up in town. In 2016, there was a vote statewide whether recreational marijuana should be legalized, and Duxbury actually voted no. So we have an opportunity now to say no to having the shops in town. This is an educational forum. We're going to have 4 speakers talking about marijuana. The first will be Valerie Massard, who is the planner in Duxbury. She's going to talk about the logistics of the actual town meeting articles. Then we're going to have Dr. Julie Johnson, who's going to be talking about the effects of marijuana on the adolescent brain. Our position at Duxbury FACTs, our real concern is the effect of marijuana, or really any substance, on the developing brain. The younger a person is when they start using a substance, the more likely that they will become addicted. So Dr. Johnson's going to talk about the science for part of her talk, and then she'll also talk about what's gone on in Colorado and other states that have already legalized marijuana. Then we're going to have Kevin Rosario, who is in recovery and works for Gosnold. He'll talk a little bit about his own experience with marijuana and substances, how he got through it, and his work at Gosnold, which is a recovery center. And finally, we're going to have the Duxbury Police Chief, Matthew Clancy, who's going to talk about marijuana and how he sees it from a policing standpoint. And then after that, questions, comments from the audience. We're hoping a lot of parents will come so that way they can become educated, because at the end of the day, whether the voters choose to have recreational shops in town or not, marijuana is just more accessible to kids, more now than ever. And we just want parents to understand, the community to understand that there are real risks for youth use. We're not trying to tell adults what they should do. You know, marijuana is legal, alcohol is legal. There's certainly a place for it medicinally. We just really want to educate the community. So it's for anyone.
Old Colony Elder Services has a new volunteer center located on South Meadow Road. We headed out to West Plymouth to meet with the company's volunteer coordinator to learn more about their program and ways you can volunteer.
Old Colony Elder Services Volunteer Center opened in November of 2017. It opened at our South Meadow office located at 204 South Meadow Road. Our center is open Monday, Tuesday, Friday from 10 to 3 and by appointment on Wednesday, Thursday. The center is a place to strengthen communities and to bring together different organizations that we work with. Through OCS's Volunteer Center, we work with people of all ages. We already have established relationships with about 55 different organizations throughout Plymouth County through our RSVP of Plymouth County program, where we work with people that are 55 and older through Senior Corps, but the Volunteer Center allows us to work with people of all ages. So someone can walk in at any age and say that they're interested in working with kids or tutoring or working with the elderly, and they're able to sit down with me one-on-one and we can talk about the different opportunities that we have available through the different partners that we've created in the community. Through our volunteer department here at Old Colony Elder Services, we have volunteer opportunities with Meals on Wheels. We have our money management program where you're able to assist elders in helping to pay their bills each month. We also have office volunteers that help with the Volunteer Center and with our RSVP of Plymouth County program. And then our community partners have a variety of different opportunities from tutoring. We have medical appointment drivers. We have after-school programs. We have reading partners. If you're interested in it, chances are we have something for you. We love our volunteers to have a passion for something. We like them to be dedicated and interested and reliable. That's the biggest thing with working with volunteers is when we're referring a volunteer to an organization, we want that volunteer to follow through with the opportunity. But the biggest thing is we want our volunteers and our community service partners to both be happy. We want the relationship to be positive for both involved.
PCN has had a long-running relationship with Duxbury Free Library and its staff. Recently, we stopped in to meet the new library director, Denise Garvin. We spoke about her new role and history with the library and, of course, to wish her the best in her new job as library director.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to do this. I've been working at the library for 12 years. So this, I feel like I'm ready. I know the staff, I know the community. Carol Jankowski was a wonderful woman to work for. I learned a lot from her. Her predecessor was Elaine Winquist. She's also a very, very strong and brilliant woman. They gave me so much background knowledge about the library. They're great. I miss them both. Before this job, I was the head of the circulation department for 8 years. Carol especially was very helpful in getting me ready for this position. She laid a lot of the groundwork for the programs that we do, that we will be continuing to do. We are adding some, like I said, more outreach programs into the community. We also are trying to do more immediate pop-up programs, things like, it's a Friday morning and we feel like doing something that we haven't done before. So we'll just take the 3D printer downstairs and print some bracelets and hand them out when people come in, doing things like that. What makes me excited about this library really is the staff. There's a great staff here. It's I think our most valuable resource. I enjoy the people that I work with every day. They are innovative, they're creative, they're inspiring. You really get to be part of the community here, especially in Duxbury because we're right on the school campus. So we're part of the kids' lives, we're part of their parents' lives. We have opportunities here to go out into the town. We work in collaboration with the Senior Center, with the West Winds Bookstore. We'd like to get out there more, do more collaborating with the Historical Society, with the Alden House, things like that. I can't remember a time when I didn't want to be a librarian. The reasons for that changed over the years, but you have so many opportunities to touch people's lives by doing a job like this.
It's town meeting season, so we stopped in with Plymouth Town Manager Melissa Arrighi to hear about a few town priorities on the warrant.
What I'd really love to talk about is the upcoming town meeting. It's always exciting for us, and there's a lot of business to cover. I like to think about this town meeting as being about buildings and water to some degree, and we are looking at disposing, doing away with 11 Lincoln Street, the old town hall. So we'll go to town meeting for permission to sell it, transfer it, lease it. We need to do something with that vacant building because the board for years now has said, don't just hold on to property, move it along if we're not using it. In addition, we'll be talking to town meeting about a new Mass Maritime facility that's received a lot of attention, is exciting. The little Harbor Master Shack, as much as we all love it, it's time to build a real maritime facility. In addition, we're looking at building the new fire station in North Plymouth, and I know there's some excitement around that. We've been to town meeting before to purchase the land, so I think they're expecting us to come back, and this is the town meeting for that. In addition to that, the town meeting is about water. We need a new well supply, so we're looking at both Forges Field to put in a new well, and we're also looking in the Darby Pond area to acquire land to help with well. People don't think about water supply that much, although you'll find in Plymouth there's a lot of environmentalists that understand what a big concern it is, and the demand in this town in the summertime is pretty intense, and we need to be able to make sure that we meet that demand in addition to allowing for future growth. And the only other thing I want to mention is the excitement around the new meeting space for the Plymouth Board of Selectmen. We've been meeting in the 1820 courtroom. We've received some great feedback from the public about PACTV showing it, the sound quality, the picture, what's happening with the board, and I think the selectmen themselves are pretty pleased with the location. So we'll continue to have our meetings there, and that's their permanent spot in the future.
We are so pleased to have on set today Donna Rodriguez, who is our Director of Creative Media Services here at PACTV and has been involved with the Plymouth Rotary and the Rotary Auction for a huge amount of years. So Donna, can you talk to us about the Rotary Auction, how it started, a little bit about the history, and what's going to happen this year?
Absolutely. The Plymouth Rotary Club has been running their auction for 23 years. Wow. They decide, and it's amazing, they've raised over $1 million in these 23 years, and all of that money goes right back to community, nonprofit, service organizations, and scholarships for local students. Mm-hmm. So it's a win-win for everybody who takes part.
Sure.
They started 23 years ago. They decided that they could run a lot of fundraisers through the year, or they could do one big fundraiser. Mm-hmm. So they decided to try an auction. The first time they had it, it started at the television studio at PCIS. Mm-hmm. And Rotarians, literally, they love to tell the story of running in with the items, putting them on camera, and then running out with them as people bid.
We've come a long way.
It's come so far.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Over 500 local businesses participate and donate items, whether it be huge baskets of fun items or gift certificates for people to bid on.
Right, or big ticket things, like I've seen canoes and chairs and all kinds of things over the years.
There's an African safari this year.
You're kidding.
No.
A trip?
Yes, it's huge. There are so many items. The Plymouth schools donate, local businesses from around the country donate. Mm-hmm. It really is a lot of fun for viewers. Okay. There are so many things. There's something for everybody's taste and everybody's interest.
Yep.
And at the same time, 100% of what is raised goes right back into the community.
Right. So it's held here because it's a live auction.
Yes.
Talk about the buzz that happens here at PACTV.
It's insanity. It's fun. It's crazy. In our studio right where we are right now, over 40 people are here. We have 4 boards. We have the ABC and the big board with the big ticket items.
Yeah.
We have folks answering the phones. We have people running cameras. There is just so much happening. Our secondary studio, we also have live camera shots so people can really get a great close-up look at little pieces of jewelry or other items, pieces of art, so they really know what they're bidding on.
Okay.
And we're spoiled rotten because the Rotarians and all of our local businesses feed everybody who's here all weekend long.
Right.
We have folks coming in and picking up their items and checking out in the front of the building. There's just something happening in every single room. So the energy level is literally through the roof the whole weekend.
It's a really fun time here.
It's one of my favorite things that we get to do every year. It's just amazing.
Now, do you look for volunteers to help?
We do. We're always looking for volunteers, and we have. It's interesting because it's almost as if you have two events happening at the same time. The Rotary Club is amazing at being able to run this auction.
Yeah.
So they've got the auction, and then PACTV and all of our staff and volunteers are handling the production.
Sure.
So it's two things running in tandem the entire weekend. So as you can imagine, we need lots of volunteers. It's usually 50 to 60 volunteers altogether throughout the weekend. So if anybody's interested, they can just email me directly, Donna, D-O-N-N-A, at PACTV.org.
Perfect. Perfect. So tell me a little bit about the different organizations that benefit from the auction.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you all have to tune in because there's going to be so much for you to see and find out about some of the groups. We've got folks coming in from local nonprofits who are actually recording video to be able to tell everybody how they have benefited and how the people they serve have benefited over the years. So make sure that you're watching. You're watching on our channels also in Marshfield and Carver for your local channels throughout the weekend, March 16th to 18th. But the Rotary does everything from helping with Habitat for Humanity and building homes. The local family homeless shelter also received a donation from the Rotary this past year where Rotarians donated their time as well as purchasing supplies to go build a playground for children.
Sure.
Rotarians purchased dictionaries and they went to schools in the Plymouth area for third graders and talked about dictionaries and how do you use them and why are they important. And they help to educate our children. They help to make our communities better. They support our art organizations. There's just so much that they do.
And what about scholarships?
Scholarships. So scholarships are available for students when they're graduating from high school for moving forward into advanced schooling. And every single Monday when the Rotary Club has their luncheon, they invite students from all of the local schools to come in and speak to them, to tell them about what they're doing, what are their goals, how do they want to give service to their community moving forward. So every single Rotarian is just so dedicated to helping to grow our communities and grow our children's education.
That's wonderful. Tell me about some of the big ticket items that are going to go on this. Aside from the trip to Africa, the safari, I might bid on that.
You don't be fighting me on that one. If I'm not working, I might be hitting the phones outside as a call in to bid. There are a lot of really fantastic things. The Rotarians themselves are donating wine to build a huge wine cellar for one lucky bidder.
Oh, wow.
We also have a 10-foot yard canopy. We also have a shed that's being donated that would be a custom built shed. There are typically every year we also have huge donations of gas and propane, which is, as you know, this winter is really important. So stay tuned.
Generator would be nice.
Local colleges are always donating 3-credit courses. There are so many wonderful things, but there's something for everybody. There's a 4-ticket movie pass for a family for a night out to the movies, up to that African safari and everything in between.
Now, who actually is there a auctioneer, or do you have speakers, or who's the one that runs this, or is it a bunch of people?
Well, Doug McLeod is one of the key people. He is the one who really founded this auction. He is the auctioneer who coordinates everything. But it's impossible to name the people because there are so many folks who have their hands in this day in and day out for the year leading up to the auction. And it really is a group effort. It's 100% participation by every single Rotarian. It's 100% participation by all of our volunteers and staff here at PACTV. It really is a fun family weekend. That raises a lot of money.
And I noticed last year when I watched it, like Stephen Trifoletti, who's the town moderator in Plymouth.
Steve Trifoletti, Matt Moratori,
one of our
two of the
state
key
reps.
folks who are MCs throughout the weekend. You're going to see a lot of well-known faces here throughout the weekend. So we have our state representatives and senators, our DA, folks who are notable in the community through all of our arts organizations and nonprofit organizations. So there are a lot of faces
everybody
and voices
gets involved
who will be
with
a part of it.
It's not just the Rotary. It's government, and it's the private sector, and it's it's nonprofits, and it's the schools, and it's everybody.
Well, the saying for the Rotarians, or for all of us, is service above self.
Right.
It really is bringing our entire community together to do good for each other, to really grow our families, to grow our schools, to grow our nonprofit organizations. It's everybody working together, and you don't want to miss it. It's so much fun. So it's the weekend of March 16th to the 18th. People can watch in a lot of different ways. So in addition to folks who know PACTV, and you have PACTV in your community, you also have the folks from Carver and Marshfield join in. So check out your local channels to find out when and where you can be watching. If you have any questions, go to pactv.org. And also, you can start bidding now. If you go to the PlymouthRotaryAuction.com,
you can see.
You can see the items that have been donated. You can start to put in some pre-bids. You can get some additional information. We're going to be having some fun with social media too. So make sure in advance of that weekend that you like and that you follow the Plymouth Rotary Club on Facebook, so you can be a part of everything that's happening. And you can see behind the scenes, and there's as much stuff happening behind the scenes as is happening on camera.
Thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. If you want to see the show again, you can check out our website, and PCN is also on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook to get up-to-date info. We will see you next week with a brand new PCN and PCN Life. From all of us at PACTV, have a great week.